small and cute. That's all. But she's 54. No, don't get this twisted, all right? It's not pedophilic. It's not weird. She's just some kind of old witch of sorts who has the ability to not age and could be 5,400 years old, could be 54 years old. It's just that, and she happens to look very prepubescent. But she's your waifu. She's your perfect waifu, who's got some drool coming out of her mouth. It's a drool for meat. It's because she's thinking of Arbys meat. Oh god, that sounds terrible too. Oh, speaking of tweets. Okay, so hey, y'all love corporate woke brands, right? You like when brands are woke. You love that, don't you? Every single one of you. Because when you're eating food that's slowly killing you, you probably want to know that food is part of a company that respects you, deeply respects you. That's why they sell you food that will slowly kill you and is incredibly addictive. You know, the rarest things we find on Earth in terms of food, fats, salts, sugars, they decided, hey, why don't we take the things that your body is programmed to want to seek out. Because, you know, we have these primitive minds that are still in the hunter-gatherer mode when it comes to stimulation. That's why the dopamine release comes fast and furious when it comes to things like salts, sugars, and fats. So let's just make food products that combine all of those into a singular item. And then we'll package it, and we can still call it legally food. And then people will just become addicted to it and eat lots and lots of it. And then we'll just become so large that the government itself has to subsidize our industry, thereby reducing the price of our food to such a point where the poorest Americans will be the only ones, well, it'll be the only food source they can afford, especially in areas that have food deserts where they don't have access to fresh fruits and stuff, but they can feed an entire family for $20 thanks to the government subsidies that make the cost of our burgers so damn cheap. Because otherwise, it turns out, according to Harvard, the cost of a McDonald's cheeseburger would be closer to about $100 if you take in the amount of labor, water, resources, raising the animals from basically calf to slaughter, all that kind of stuff, makes it into an incredibly expensive product to mass produce, but we can make it very, very cheap once we get to this size. And so that's basically the rub. And so at the end of the day, when it comes to all of that, when I'm buying these products, I want to make sure that these companies have my interests at heart. You know, when I shave my face, which I can't do because of my mother's indigenous roots on most of my face, but when I shave my face and I do it in front of the mirror and act like a real man's man, I want to know that I'm using a Gillette razor, because a Gillette razor is against toxic masculinity, and I am too. So it represents the same thing. Like when I wear my shoes, I put on Nikes, not because of the fact that they're made in places committing cultural genocide like Xinjiang or anything like that, or because of the fact that many Nike products actually used to be manufactured by children, but because they stand for Black Lives Matter. And so that's why I put on my Nikes, because I know they're woke, and I forget about the rest. That's the beauty of it all. Except when they fuck up. When they fuck up, then it kind of looks bad. Like today Burger King UK tweeted out, "Women belong in the kitchen," which sounds like the most sexist statement you could possibly make on today of all days. Like, you picked a hell of a day to try this out. But this is what is known as outrage marketing. It's supposed to be clever, and it is, because it fucking works. Holy shit, does it work. 656,000 likes. This one blew up in the, I'm guessing you know which circles like this kind of shit. The manosphere, the red pillars. Oh man, just speaking of circle jerks. But then of course, they were quick to add, and add they did, if they want to, of course. Yet only 20% of chefs are women. We're on a mission to change the gender ratio in the restaurant industry by empowering female employees with the opportunity to pursue a culinary career. We are proud to be launching a new scholarship program which will help female Burger King employees pursue their culinary dreams. Shut the fuck up, Burger King. Wow, this is an angry skull. Gotta watch out for angry skulls, I tell you. Here's the thing. The original one is getting way more reception because obviously it's running in the circles that would kind of love this kind of shit. And they knew full well what they were doing, okay? Burger King UK official count does not have a lonely staffer in a corner, as much of us would like to think, just saying, I wonder what's gonna work today. This shit was calculated. It was like, okay, so if we put women belong in the kitchen and then hit enter and then add if they want to, that's a tweet. What about this? What if we just put the first part on its own? Because everyone will think we're being mad sexist. And it's like, it's so far beyond the pale because like this is like 1960s rhetoric. So no one's going to believe it. But then we add, and then we can add a secondary tweet which clarifies our position, which is of course not sexist at all, that we want to improve the fact that there are so few professional culinary chefs, especially in high-end restaurants. And so that this is actually going to be a woke, but at the same time we can create some outrage and controversy, and people will talk. It could be just, it was a joke for the lulz. It was a keck, you know. Have you all heard about keck? That side of the internet. I just want to say though, this isn't the first time this is happening. I hope everyone is well aware, because fast food does weird things. Here's a year ago. Does anyone remember this campaign? Was anyone a part of this campaign? Did anyone participate? Our draw this in your style starts now. The Arbys waifu is ready. Draw her in your style, and be sure to tag your creation with @Arbys. Arbys waifu, draw this in your own style. Aw, cute. Pedophilia, uwu. Pedophilia, uwu. It was 2 years ago. It's true. It was 2 years ago. Times have changed. We've improved. We don't do this kind of outrage marketing anymore. We don't do this kind of outrage marketing anymore. We do different kinds. Oh, it seems people have been deleting their tweets since it got a little bit exposed today. That's fine. Other people are doing it. That's fair. Oh, what's this? The Radical Reviewer did one. Not bad, Radical Reviewer. Not bad. Wait, how's that pedo? Allow me to explain. So, what's happening here? The waifu. It's common amongst internet parlance. It's used within 4chan circles as well. I'm really confused as to why. But roughly translated, the idea is your Japanese word for wife, right? As in, like, this is going to be my wife. Now, it's been adopted by the right to alt-right, often within the circles that use the trad wife kind of terminology. Trad wife being obedient, subservient wife. The idea behind a waifu is often used within alt-right to right-wing circles, specifically because they like the idea of the fact that they think that Japan is a perfect ethno-state. And so people like Richard Spencer, for example, as well as a lot of the alt-right, love Japan and love Japanese women. They often bring it up. They'll talk about how Japan is this perfect panacea of, perfect ethno-nationalism. They've got it figured out. And also, the women there seem to be very subservient to men, especially to white men. And they kind of feel like the perfect kind of wives that really would be, beholden to their husbands, that would understand that they're just ticking egg bombs and that we basically have to fertilize them, and then their use is of no value to us unless they're going to service us sexually. That's kind of the whole idea. And so because of that, the memes surrounding waifus kind of propagated itself on the internet. So it's very weird that Arbys would have decided upon themselves to take that up and be like, well, this is fun. Here, okay, how do you do, fellow kids? We'll do an internet too. I'm ready for my waifu drawing competition, which they did. Now, the other thing is, in this picture, the waifu in question looks very prepubescent, very, very young. Very, very, very young looking. Now, the people noticed this and pointed it out. I think I quote tweeted it because I was kind of worried they might destroy it once all this blew up. Oh yeah. So someone wrote, "Oh my God, you're doing waifus with a young girl. Yikes," or something. And they wrote, "Arbys is 54, so transitive property, ergo vis-a-vis. She's 54 and chibi, which means small and cute. Carry on." Small and cute. That's all. But she's 54. No, don't get this twisted, all right? It's not pedophilic. It's not weird. She's just some kind of old witch of sorts who has the ability to not age, and could be 5,400 years old, could be 54 years old. It's just that, and she happens to look very prepubescent. But she's your waifu. She's your perfect waifu, who's got some drool coming out of her mouth. It's a drool for meat. It's because she's thinking of Arby's meat. Oh God, that sounds terrible too. This wasn't even meant to be outrage. This one is just a miss. Like, there's outrage culture in which they're intentionally trying to generate anger, furor, outrage, whatever either by going more woke than they maybe think the Overton window is perceived, as maybe is the case. But in this case, they were just trying to do a how do you do, fellow kids, because they were just thinking, oh, waifu's popular on the internet. Let's not do too much research into why, but we'll find out.
A few moments later.
We hear you. We got our initial tweet wrong, and we're sorry. We're sorry. Our aim was to draw attention to the fact that only 20% of professional chefs in the UK kitchens are women, and to help that by awarding culinary scholarships. We will do better next time. We decided to delete the original tweet after our apology. It was brought to our attention that there was abusive comments in the thread, and we don't want to leave the space open for that. Oh, the comments. Yes. That's the problem. Yeah. Not you reiterating and parroting basically misogyny from the 1950s. No, it's the comments who are wrong.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Can you do the thing, that thumbs up and comment and all those things that help us out in the algorithm that controls every aspect of our lives? Also, if you happen to have a Facebook account, can you delete it? Like, just delete it. You should probably delete your Facebook account because it's not a great company. But hey, if you can't do that for whatever reason, I understand. And could you also go to facebook.com/thesurftimes then and give us a little like and a follow. We're just trying to push back against the fact that people like Ben Shapiro happen to dominate the platform entirely. And when everyone asks why do older generations believe the things they believe, one of the problems is the majority of them on social media use Facebook. So to counter that, we're just going to be on there too now. Also, if you happen to have a union or a worker co-op or even a leftist project, podcast, website, Zoom, MySpace, it doesn't matter. We will advertise it for free on this channel. All you got to do is go to weareserfs.com and use the forms that we got there, weareserfs.com. Thanks, everybody.
To our glorious gods, Xander Corvus and I'm Rav, may you shower us with glory and smite our enemies. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we serve at your leisure, your grace. To our lords, Tofox, Bisexual Black Gamer, Jimothy K. Meeble Beeps Jr., Ryan Lubin, Trevor R., Jeffrey Lamb, Alexander Thaler, and Hans Josephine, we shall carry your banner high into the fields of battle. To our Knights of the Round Table, Timothy Hart, Trevor Janis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophagic, Saren 42, Chronic de Hemphog, Kale Kotka, The Great Pudini, Bone Jenny, Catherine, Radical Maniac, Ramon Acosta, Incosin, J. Fraser Cartwright, Thomas Barrington, Jimmy Bignuts, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Political Puppy, Andreas Chitoro, Goofalankius, Zach Christensen, Nicholas Marks, Gopi, Josh Mickelson, Melissa Murphy, Todd Buckingham, Todd Lajeunesse, Constance Joyce Lacheris. We lift our glasses of ale and we salute you.